Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Eastar Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a collective and timeless reading to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to deliver to us as a message of guidance. Tripping over my words a bit today, aren't I? Things have felt a bit off, haven't they, the last couple of days? Maybe it's just Halloween threw us off, or I don't know, but yeah, lately it's been feeling a little funny. I think we have to kind of reset our energy to get back on track. So let's see what guidance we're going to receive today about that. Oh, here we go, something. The Magician. Here we go. We've got Bob. I don't know if you watch Stranger Things. This is a Stranger Things deck. I love that he's the magician in this deck because it kind of makes sense in a way. Yeah. I'm just going to take that one. So I think that was our lonely card. We are called to notice. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to get more cards first before I say anything, but I do have some thoughts on that. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Three of Strands, which in this deck is the Three of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, the picture's coming together. Definitely have to take charge of our destiny a little more, don't we? Oh, there we go. The Sun. And we got, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Oh, he's the kid that, he's like, he's got the teeth issue or the mouth issue. It has a certain name, and he's very sweet. And he kind of keeps the group together by being like, guys, we gotta do this. Yeah, he's his own person. The Sun. And the Four of Strands, or Four Wands. More wands, huh? A lot of wands in this because it's not pictured here, but the Magician I think of as having a wand, right? Oh, that was a weird noise. It was a car, but it sounded like a plane a little bit. Yeah, what is that? Oh, that's so weird. I think it's some sort of machine someone's working on outside, maybe like a leaf blower, but it makes such a weird noise, didn't it? I don't know if you can hear it, maybe you can't, but anyway, focus on this. So the Magician, yeah, so you have to take some charge of your destiny here, I think, a little bit. There's this element of deciding to be happy. Yeah. So I think like this almost seems like an after party state, you know, like when you have people over and there's chaos and it's fun, but then afterwards you're like looking in the morning being like, wow, what a mess. And that's not to say you necessarily had a party or went wild. I think it's more about the energies kind of got off there for a bit. Maybe there was something just distressing or disturbing to you for a little bit, or even just maybe you were having fun, but it made you get off schedule, off routine, and so now you're kind of looking around wondering, well, how do I get back on track? And Three is strong. I tried to say strands of wands at the same time. Strands. So Three strands is getting you to take a look at that, because we think of the Three of Wands, it's this person with three wands standing looking out to the ocean and kind of setting out on a journey, right? And then we get that to the Four of Strands, right? Yeah, I'm seeing the journey here as you kind of realizing your power to make your life the way that you want it to be. Because the Magician has that ability, right? He has the ability to manifest. The Magician is the manifester, the ultimate manifester. And when they put their mind to it, when they set their determination on their set their mind to be determined. Can't talk today, can I? But yeah, when they decide that they want something and they go for it, they make it happen. And that's seen in the sequence of the Three of Wands to the Four of Wands, because the Four of Wands, or strands in this case, is often thought of as, like a coming home energy, like arriving. And there was a little crackle there. And we got wands here, which is the fire element. So that's interesting. The candle just crackled a little bit. I don't know if you heard it on camera, but it was a very distinct little sound. So, I think there's something about finding a home here. And that doesn't have to be necessarily a physical home. I think it's more like finding your place, your safe space, the thing you've always wanted, which I think may be a home. But I think it's more about belonging. Yeah, because you got the sun here. And the sun is all about like being in the sun, being in that joy, being in that happiness, right? And you've got him here. Oh, I wish I could remember his name right now. It's I can't remember any of their names at the moment. There's Lucas, Will, oh my gosh, something Wheeler, and him. And I can't remember his name at the moment. That's bugging me so much. Maybe it'll come back to me later on. But it doesn't really matter. It's more his personality that's important here. He shines on his own, and he brings that sunshine to his group, I think, without realizing how important he is to that dynamic. And he also, in this moment, I think he's doing that on his own here, because he's all dressed up and he's kind of bringing the sunshine to the moment, even though he doesn't have a date in this situation. I haven't watched Stranger Things in a while, so I can't really remember the scenario. But to me, it says like, you're making happiness on your own. And you're learning how to bring the sunshine to any situation, the happiness and the right vibes to your life without necessarily having things external to affirm that. And that energy is what's going to lead to the Four of Wands, lead to that manifestation of the thing that you want, which is that sense of home. It doesn't have to be a physical home. It's just the sense of belonging and home. And that could be with a group of friends. That could be just in the right city or country. Maybe you want to live in the countryside, actually. But, it's just finding the right, state of being to be in, where you feel that sense of welcome and belonging and peace. Yeah. You know that you can do this. You're the magician of your own life. You can manifest your own life as you want it to be. And look, we got the Chariot on the bottom, which is Hopper's car. So, I think that you're going to be I think you might be moving soon, even potentially getting a new space, because you got the Chariot there too, which is all about moving, not necessarily physical, but like that energy of movement, of momentum, of power. Yeah, which fits right into this, doesn't it? I love this little deck. I'm really resonating with it a lot. It's very cute. Yeah. Let's get more cards here. I'm going to grab Seasons of the Witch, Ostara. So we love Ostara on this channel. All right, get some oracle cards here. I'm sorry about the noise. There's like a bus or a truck or something nearby. Lots of little noises. Maybe you got a lot of distractions going on in your life right now, and you're trying to focus on this manifestation, but it's tricky. I think the key is to have embody that sun energy, is to keep your vibe high despite what's going on in your life. Keep your focus on your manifestation, and those things are going to come together. You're on the right path. I don't see you as being off the path. I see this as you showing that you're getting back on the path, getting back on the horse, which is appropriate because we had Chariot too, right? Oh, the card's popping right here. Oh, here we go. Spring cleaning. Maybe you are moving because you'll have to clean up a lot of stuff. Maybe that's what this energy is about, because he's kind of looking around with like he's got a lot of tasks to do. He's carrying a lot of stuff in his hand, looking like, I don't know where to begin. And that could do with the manifestation energy. Maybe you're struggling to get it going, but it could also just be about, sometimes we gotta clear out the old to bring in the new, right? It is time to clear from the path all that does not serve you. Yeah. So get cleaning. Look around and see what doesn't serve you, what doesn't reflect you. Sometimes you gotta do that with your items. And sometimes we cling to items, especially if we've lived in a scarcity consciousness for a long time, or we have emotional attachment to those items, especially. And us not letting that item go kind of represents us not letting those emotions go as well, right? Sometimes it's not really about the actual physical thing, even if we think it is. It's really about the feelings behind it that we have trouble letting go of. So I think that this could be very beneficial for you right now. And you don't have to do it all in one day. Just do a little bit at a time. Maybe pick a section, a closet, or maybe just like a stack of items that you want to go through, because it might take some emotional processing to get rid of them. Like, you might have to hold it for a while and think about those emotions. Maybe you should journal a bit as well while you're doing it. Like, journal what comes up, because it's important to record our lives, right? Because we forget things. Primrose. I always think of this as like a lover's card. Be still and pave the way for all that you have desired. Yeah. Being still. That's important. Maybe not letting yourself get too wrapped up in trying to, we got Florimancy on the bottom. Escape all the noise and become still with the guidance that is pulling you inward. Yeah. Some more messages about stillness. Maybe you gotta actually stand in the mess a bit. Maybe you have to actually go, it's more important to go through the feelings that are attached to those items than it is to just get rid of the items. Like, you're not supposed to, in this situation, just throw it all in a box and say adios. I think actually you need to I think you might need to really process how you feel about them. Maybe give yourself a chance to just have a cry, or maybe even just live in the nostalgia of it for a little bit and kind of give it a send-off, Here we go. Garden party. Embrace the coming of things worth celebrating. Yeah. Because when you let go, new things come in, right? Anything you let go of is going to come back to you. It's not going to be gone forever. It's going to come back in the form of a new energy, something that's more suited and better to you. That's what happens when we change our vibration. The old has to move out and new things have to come in, right? So you have to find a way to kind of celebrate and let go of something. Let it have its moment and then send it off. And no, it's not easy. I hold on to things quite a bit. I find it hard to let go. What do you call it? Not a hoarder, but like, someone who kind of collects nostalgic things and doesn't want to let them go. I guess that's a hoarder. But it's more sentimental to me. It's like, oh, this represents this moment and I want to keep that forever. But sometimes, a good way to do it is to pack it away so you don't see it. And then when you realize, and then let time pass, and when you realize you haven't even looked at it or cared about it in all that time, you realize, I don't actually really need that thing, so I'm gonna let it go. Yeah. Because sometimes when we can't let something go, sometimes it's just best to put it aside, somewhere hidden for a while, and see if you actually do miss it. Because oftentimes you don't even notice that it's gone, and then you realize, oh yeah, I actually forgot about this item. I guess I can let it go, huh? Like, let's get some crystal guidance here. Something different, something can guide us through this moment. Pyrite, yeah. Seeing the value within. Yeah. You have everything that you need. Like, you don't need external things to confirm your value. Maybe that's something you're kind of projecting onto those items. I don't know why this is about items, but I keep talking about it, so I guess that's what it's about. It can also be things you're just attached to, like feelings and people, places. Yeah. Seeing that you have everything you need within you. You carry your story with you. You carry all of your emotions and your values and your everything. It's all within you. And so nothing, if you lose a particular item, you're not losing yourself, you know? So, you can let it go. Maybe you're just holding too tight to something, and that's what's blocking manifestation. Not necessarily that it's blocked, because maybe, nothing's reversed. I don't get the sense of blockage here. So I think maybe you are actually working at this. I think you're doing it. So, good job if you're tackling it head on. And if you're not, don't stress about it. Just work with yourself. Work at your own pace. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to be making your life stressful or pushing yourself to do things you're not ready for. Just do it as it feels right and go with the flow. Because if you feel on a particular day that I'm going to do this, go with it. Despite what other plans you had, go with the energy. I feel called to draw attention to the fluorite I brought in today. Nice piece of fluorite. It's a green and purple crystal, and I love them. They're so beautiful. Yeah, fluorite. Good for intuition as well. I wonder if fluorite's good for letting go, actually. I should look that up. Take a little look at it later. Okay, I guess I'm done with the crystal cards here. But maybe I'll take a look at fluorite, actually. See if it's in this book. Yeah, fluorite. Clarity and purity. So yeah, intuition, clarity of vision, clear focus, and ending of cluttered thinking. Because cluttered thinking, that's like having a cluttered space, right? The two go kind of hand in hand. Maybe you need to just cleanse your space to clear your mind, right? I find when a place is disorganized or messy or things are piling up around me, I get stressed out mentally. Or maybe you should get into feng shui a bit. There's a lot to that. When we change a space, and often when we have piles of things in certain places, it's in a particular corner for a reason. Like the energy is collected there for a reason. It's reflecting something about our own state of mind. Because like all the directions represent different aspects of our lives, right? So, I think that there could be something to that. It's not just about the physical clearing, it's about the mental clearing. So yeah, good thing we brought fluorite in. Give you some clarity. And we got our little bird guardians, so maybe that's, some guardian angels looking out for you here. Maybe they're watching you and just kind of being like, you need to have a cleanse. Have a little free space, a little freedom for your mind. Yeah, I think I'm going to get a Zodiac Moon card now. Yeah. Maybe you're having trouble with clarity of vision as well for your intuition, and that's part of what's blocking it a bit. If you're having trouble with that is. Let's see, what else can we give for advice for this reading? Oh, lost it. Or no, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Sun in Pisces, higher purpose. Align yourself with love and wisdom. Yeah. Maybe you need to clear out your space so you can just have that mental clarity. Because you need to do new things. Like maybe you don't even have a space to exercise or meditate because you just got so much stuff on the ground. But when you do clear that up, you'll suddenly feel that impulse to do it. Sometimes that happens with me. Like I'm trying to force myself to do something new and I keep failing at it. But I failed to do it because I didn't create the space for me to do it. There's nowhere on the floor where I can sit and meditate. This is just a random example, but and then suddenly when I clear that space, make that room, all of a sudden I'm meditating every day. And it wasn't a willpower issue. It was, I didn't make the space for it. And I think you can take that on different levels, like for anything in your life. If you want new relationships in your life, maybe it's because it's not happening for you because you're not making space for it. So whatever you're trying to call in, manifest in, have you made the space for it? Have you cleared out the old refuse so that something new can be born? Often when we let go of things, items, new things come in that are better suited, right? So and this can go on the level of vibration, because it says align yourself with love and wisdom. So are you creating a space that's a vibration of love for new love to come in, right? Or belonging or friendship, whatever you're looking for. Yeah. The blues here are really resonating. Sun in Pisces and the sun. Yeah. Work on your state of mind, because I think that's going to bring in what you want more than trying to make it happen. Yeah. Give yourself some space to do that. Give yourself the space. Yeah. Give yourself the space to think about these things. And maybe just sit and look around your room, because sometimes when you sit and look in a room, you suddenly see all the solutions, right? It's like when you go to sleep and suddenly all your problems are solved in the morning, right? Not all of them, usually, but how we feel about them is usually changed, right? Like, I went to bed last night, I was not in a great mood. I was anxious and kind of angry, and I was just having all these weird emotions come up. And I wanted to do some work on some things, but I just decided to go to sleep because I just couldn't work in that state. And, I feel so much better today. I got good rest. I had lots of dreams. And in a weird way, those dreams kind of brought me some resolution. So, sometimes our dreams are trying to help us, trying to give us answers, right? Yeah. I'm going to take a butterfly card, actually. I feel like I've been using a lot of the same cards lately, but it's whatever. It's what I'm called to. Butterflies. What's changing, or what has to change? Courage, yeah. Maybe you just have to call in your courage to be a new person. And maybe this has to do with letting go of things, right? Maybe you're a little scared of what it means on a different level, what it means you're letting go of. But again, we don't lose things. We only make room for the new, right? Trying to make room for my candles. Yeah, like I think you have the courage, though. I think you have that ability to call upon your courage and make that change. Forgiveness. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you have to forgive others, but mostly yourself, right? And forgiving others never means that we have to say it was okay that what happened to us or what they did to us was okay or anything like that. Forgiveness is all about just moving forward. It's about saying, I'm not going to focus on this anymore. I'm not going to let this take away my energy anymore. And it's mostly about forgiving ourselves because often the regret is about how we acted in the situation, or because sometimes we feel like, why didn't I see the signs earlier? Why did I put up with that? Or why did I not stand up for myself? Things like that. But the biggest thing we have to do is forgive our past self, because, like, moving through the whole experience is what teaches us, and then we know what we should have done. But our past self can't know that without going through the experience. So forgive your past self for not knowing what they couldn't possibly have known without going through the experience. I hope that makes sense. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't have known without going through it. And now you know, and that was the whole purpose of going through the experience. And forgive yourself for not knowing, for needing to learn. Like, everyone comes here to learn. That's the whole point of living and having experiences. Candle's burning low. Yeah, maybe your inner candle is burning low. Like, it makes you feel low about yourself when you maybe look at the past and think, I could have done this and I could have done that. It's so easy to just look back on the past and edit it. Like, think like, oh, if I had done this at this time, I would be here. Or if only I had not met this person, my life would have gone in a completely different direction. You know, it's so easy to think that way. But what is it? Hindsight's 2020. Of course we see it that way because we know we're in the future. But you have to forgive yourself. No one does this perfectly. And you're not supposed to. That would be weird. If we lived our lives perfectly, it wouldn't be a human life. You have to have the courage to keep going forward, even though you have regrets, even though you don't feel satisfied about things you did. All you can do is take the things that you've learned and move forward into the new life, into the new goals that you're working towards. Be happy that you know now what you want better, and you're ready to set on the journey for it. Set yourself on the journey. Yeah. See your inner worth. Like, I feel like there's this like sense of like worthlessness from this. Like how could I have been so stupid, or how could I have fallen for this? How could I have not seen the sign sooner? Something like that. But honestly, you're being too hard on yourself. Being way too hard on yourself. Your guides really want you to ease up on that. And just be proud that you learned everything, because some people don't figure it out. Some people don't figure out the issues. Like, I think your ancestors are proud of you because, you know, you're doing better than they did in certain situations, right? Yeah. Like, you don't see how far the line of the DNA has come. Hope that makes sense. But, like, you know, we're all in a line of inheritance from, you know, our grandparents, great-grandparents, onward and onward. Often trauma is generational too, right? It repeats down the line. But every iteration, which is a different person and different individual, does something a little different, improves the story a little bit, or makes for a happier ending each time. And that's kind of like, that's evolution, right? And you're doing better than you know. You just can't see that because you can't see the story of your ancestors and how far you've come. And when I say you, I mean all of you in your soul group, right? It took you a long time, lifetimes, to arrive to this place that you're at now and this life you're living. So, you know, give yourself some credit. I think you're just too harsh on yourself. Too hard on yourself. Like, too thinking, I could have done better, I could have done this. Well, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's okay. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. You're not supposed to live a life where you just are constantly self-criticizing and wondering what you could have done better. Just accept the flow. Accept what lessons you needed to learn and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Have the courage to forgive yourself. Oh, the candle just went out. And the light just burned out now. It's like, yeah, put an end to it. Put an end to that cycle of criticism, that cycle of like burdening yourself with guilt and pressure and high standards. That has to end. You know, it's the end of that cycle. And, you know, to your ancestors, that's huge. They're like, good job, you know. Because they didn't get there, right? But you got there. You're ending the cycles of trauma, the cycles of, a certain attachment that just kept going and going, or a certain wound in that DNA line that kept going and going, a generational wound. Yeah, you're doing more than you know just by living your life and moving forward with courage. So, have some happiness about that. Celebrate yourself. And let the manifestations in, because you deserve it. You deserve to have everything that's coming to you that's going to be so much better for you, so much suited to you. Things are lighting up like the strands. Life is getting brighter. And even the pyrite's kind of glowing, isn't it? It's like shimmering. A lot of sun energy in here. So I see good things coming for you, and I think the only thing that's stopping it or holding it back is you letting go of the past and forgiving yourself. Yeah, that's all that needs to happen. I mean, there's always going to be humps and hurdles along the way, no matter what. That's just life. But I think, you're headed for a better chapter of your life. The worst is behind you. And your job now is just to let the new in. Yeah, let the new in. And forgive the past. So, yeah. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for staying to the other end of the reading. If you like these videos, you can like and subscribe, or leave a comment if you feel inclined. I like to hear your stories, and I hope that you will move forward from this day with love in your heart for yourself. All right, I'll see you again. Take care.